Everyone, hey, congratulations on your new film, In Our Blood.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
You know, I feel like there should be more of this style of horror filming, of documentary style,
Mm.
and because it is a unique storytelling feature. So let me throw the first question to Pedro here. Tell us what drew you in that you wanted to direct this film.
What first I got the script from my manager and producer of this film, dear friend Aaron Cogan, who sent me a draft of that Mallory Westfall, our amazing screenwriter, had written, and I devoured the script. I was like, oh my God, this is extraordinary, and one of the best things I had read in a long time, and but I was scared. I mean I was scared by and daunted by the prospect of doing this, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this justice. I was telling Aaron, and he's like, no, this is, your documentary background and your experiences is exactly what this project needs. And after talking to Mallory, Aaron, and Stephen Klein, our other amazing producer, I got really excited to actually to continue exploring a lot of the things that I explore in my documentary work, but through sort of like a hypercharged lens. I think that I love genre is able to do that and make us look at our world in such through such a unique lens, but so grounded in reality. And I was really excited about that challenge. So that's the main reason, kind of really bring to the forefront the humanity that we're not seeing, but through just through the lens of documentary into genre. So that was what was really just I you know could not wait to keep exploring with this.
Well said. Brittany, EJ, congratulations to you both of getting onto this project. But we want to know is how different is boarding something like this, going from like a narrative and 1 foot into the documentary world in this case?
Um, I think it felt more intimate. I think the
Mm.
process felt really grounded and real. And I mean, I think when you're doing either independent or blockbuster or, television, which I know EJ's done all of those things, and we had the experience of just feeling like we felt really connected to the story and the script and the characters and felt connected to everybody who made it possible to create the lore of this story.
Mm.
EJ?
Uh, Agreed. For me, it's interesting because we're shooting something that we never get to shoot in chronological order. Not really. I mean, I think productions try to schedule it that way as best they can, but it's always about what fits best into the budget. And for something like this, where there's technically only one camera and one real shot, it gave us time to really play, to get to know each other, to really work on what the meat of the scene is. It's the most unique film I've ever done, and I'm just so happy I got to be a part of it.
Same.
Well, well said. Pedro, going back to you. I spoke to you before on your last documentary, Rebel Hearts.
Mm.
And you craft dark documentaries very well, but
Yes.
this being your first narrative feature, tell us, was it easy to be in a familiar place, or is it more challenging and more pressure to keep it in telling a story in a documentary style, even though it's fictionalized?
Um, well, for me, it's never easy, but it's always about creating a space with extraordinary collaborators that can really bring the story to life in the most grounded and real way. And so, for me, it was about the challenge was kind of walking that line of documentary and genre and always feel grounded in the reality and the reality of this is not a fictional world, for us. This is a real world, and we've filmed in real places like the clinic and the encampment, and got to meet featuring real people, and sort of grounding that humanity and while really amping up the genre. So for me, I guess I really lean on my collaborators,
Mm.
my from the brilliant cast. Sorry, I got something caught in my throat. The brilliant cast, the brilliant cinematographer, Camo. Ooh, I'm losing my voice. And the brilliant and I really relied on them to get um to for their expertise and for bringing the genre, like making it feel real and ground.
Mhm.
We had the our first AD had this saying like um it's the real deal, right? And so we wanted to make this feel as grounded as possible. And I also have to give huge props to the rest of the cast, Krisha and Alana and Bianca and Stephen Klein, who kind of dove in headfirst to um, we wanted to absorb the place. I think so. It was kind of setting a tone of that blending of real world and fiction in the fictional world. And so we had such a great time in Las Cruces making it and really getting to know people there and collaborating with the folks on the ground. So I think that was sort of like what scared me the most, and and in a way was sort of the most filling thing to do.
Well, it is fulfilling for you. Brittany, EJ, as actors yourself, being in narrative stuff for such a long time, this being a documentary, the camera is a perspective. And I want to ask to the both of you is how did you do your eye focus, like where to look at? Like sometimes you want to look at each other, sometimes you want to look at the camera. Did this kind of prove challenging to you, and what your process of like where to look and focus your eyes during communications?
I was just sitting in a chair screaming my lines out from the sidelines. I was eating M&Ms the whole time. Uh, no, no, no. You're spot on. I think it was definitely its own type of challenge to find a dance with our cinematographer. Often we had like there was always physical contact between him and I. We really were trying to meld our two perspectives. Danny for the emotional availability and communication, and then Gamo for his eyes and for what he's choosing to still look at. And that dance was always beautiful and challenging in its own right. And often, it is a little difficult at times if I can't get to see my partner, or they can't get to see me. But the blessing about working with incredibly talented people is it happens and it's seamless and you still feel connected. Brittany's incredible, like truly. Uh, and so even though I was tucked behind this beautiful tall man with gorgeous hair, I still felt like I was right there with her, which honestly with a different actor would not have worked.
It's very
Brittany, how
sweet.
about for you?
I mean, I think well, EJ was just magnetic, and I remember when Pedro and I had our chemistry read with him, we were like, it was my first time actually doing chemistry reads with actors, and we were just blown away. So it takes a very good deep actor to be able to do what EJ did on this film. And so for my eyeline for that question, I would have to look at our wonderful cinematographer Camo. So I look at him, and then I like, oh my gosh, I feel like I was so in the zone I didn't even like think
Yeah,
of it.
often it felt like we were just connected, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we did a lot of prep. So
that's
it,
real. Yeah.
we had a lot of prep, and most of the scenes at first were in the car.
Yeah.
We had to drive around all the cows, and I was actually driving with everyone in the car. Thank you for trusting me. I took driver's class very seriously. Um, so I did driver's
Real
ed.
deal. She did the driving and
Yeah,
EJ. There were moments that EJ was also operating the camera. So
yes. Yeah.
I love those moments. I want more of them. Let's do it again. Let's just refilm everything and have so much fun.
Well, that's all the time I have. But to all three of you, congratulations on this film for In Our Blood. it is quite unexpected, especially to the twist towards the end that everyone really does need to stay for. So, thank
Yeah.
you very much for carrying this conversation with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Gig.
Thank
Really
you
Thank you,
appreciate
for
it.
Gig.
being here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I know.